Today's best country, it's Froggy 101, and today is the conclusion, the final tale of terror. My brother Nick on the line, calling in from Texas. Now, we've heard about a talking fish tank. We've heard about 3 ghosts that were staring at us while we slept. And we also heard about a ventriloquist dummy that came to life. And those were 3 cases in a house in New Jersey that was haunted. We left New Jersey shortly after the ventriloquist dummy came to life, and we moved to the hills of West Virginia. Now, if you've ever heard about West Virginia, there's tales of things that happen in the mountains. The Mothman, UFOs, creatures. And my brother claims the UFOs are real. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to tell this story.
So this story, I tell everybody, and I don't know all the details. And people always look at me with wonder in their eyes because I feel like because it's West Virginia, it holds some sort of truth to it. Because if you've never been to West Virginia, there's truly really nothing out where we were.
No, I mean, 1-lane roads with no lights on them. I think our town had 1 stoplight in it, right?
Yeah.
Just like vast woods with no sign of life anywhere.
So you were always believing in aliens. You always thought aliens were real, but never to the point where you would freak yourself out, especially because you were either a senior or you had just graduated. At that time, you're probably not even thinking about aliens.
No, I mean, as you know, we grew up in the haunted house. I liked watching X-Files. It always interested me. But, you know, I'm 17 or 18 at this point. A lot of that stuff in my mind is just neat science fiction things to think about.
So one night, if I'm not mistaken, there is a road that was near our town called Waverly Road, and it connected Waverly to Williamstown. And this road was kind of no man's land. The police didn't patrol it. It was a 1-lane road, real dark, no lights. That's where you were, right?
That's exactly right.
So it's a 1-lane road. I mean, if you turn the lights off in the car, you can't see the road anymore. Totally black, woods on both sides. And you knew someone that had a house on that road, is that right?
Yeah, so we were in Williamstown, and we were going out to pick up a friend who lived out in Waverly. It was me and my buddy James. And so we drive out this road, and the road should only take about 10 minutes to get from Williamstown to Waverly. We get out to pick up my friend, and it turns out he wasn't home. So we start driving back towards Williamstown, and that's when the incident happened.
So you're heading back down Waverly Road towards our small town. What time is it?
It's only 10 o'clock at night. So it's dark, but it's still somewhat early. And the important part about this story is that the time frame's really important because we left with the intention to go pick up our friend and go back to another friend's house to watch a movie. They were going to wait for us to go pick up the friend and come back.
So everybody's waiting on you guys to pick somebody up to watch a movie. So you know you have a time frame now.
Right. It should only take about 20 minutes. The other friends were going to go get some pizzas. We were going to watch a movie, eat pizzas, do what teenagers do on a weekend.
So what happens?
So all of a sudden, James and I are driving back, and everything in my truck starts freaking out. The radio goes completely static. All of the gauges on my truck instrument panel, they all start going haywire. I mean, it shows that the gas is empty, the gas is full, the engine's overheating. All of the lights, all the gauges, everything in the truck is going completely haywire. The cabin lights come on, they're flickering. The radio gets so loud. And then you know that noise when you open up your door and your door goes ding, 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 ding. You know that noise?
Yeah.
That starts going off really, really loud. Pure chaos inside the truck. And my buddy James, all of a sudden, not able to take it anymore, screams, "Stop!" And as soon as he screams stop, everything goes back to normal.
So this is I believe it was a 2002 Chevy S10. So this isn't like a newer car that had electronic digital interface. We're talking all analog knobs and things. So this isn't like a computer error.
No. Well, so I had just put a CD player in this truck. So I thought, because James and I are sitting there after everything goes back to normal, and we're still driving, mind you, and we said, what the heck was that? And I said, well, I did just put in a new stereo. So maybe I screwed something up. Maybe I switched some wires or something. Maybe that's the issue here. We look at the clock, and the clock now says it's 1 o'clock in the morning, or 12:30. Basically, we lost about 2.5 hours. But we said to ourselves, well, we just had this electrical or something happen to the truck. The time's probably off.
Right.
Now, this was also before cell phones, so we didn't have a cell phone to check the time or anything like that. We just assumed something went wrong with the truck. We'll drive back to my buddy's house. We'll park the truck. I'll tell Mom and Dad about it tomorrow. We'll take it to the shop and see if we can get it fixed.
Which is the normal thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this all chaotic thing, it happened in the matter of probably 5 or 10 seconds. It wasn't very long. We didn't even stop the truck. We kind of slowed down while we looked at everything. James yells, stop. Everything goes back to normal except the time is off, and we keep on driving.
So you finally get to where you're going.
We're getting to where we're going. We go into my buddy's house, and we see the end credits of the movie that we were supposed to watch playing on the TV screen.
So you realize now something is definitely wrong.
Yeah, and we say to our buddies, hey, like, what's going on? Is this a movie? Like, when are we going to start the movie? And they all look at us, and they're like, where the heck have you guys been? And we said, what do you mean? We just drove out to Waverly. We came right back. They said, we've been waiting for you for hours. We watched the whole movie without you guys.
Ooh. So now, if you know anything about UFO abductions, lost time is a very common theme in alien abduction.
It's the number one thing when people say that they get abducted. They lose time, and that's exactly what happened to James and I. We went and we looked at all the clocks and everything, and it was in fact 1 o'clock in the morning. So over the span of this 5-10 second glitch in my truck, we truly lost 2.5 hours of time.
And you, to this day, you still can't explain it.
I can't explain it. Like you said, it's not like, either one of us fell asleep or anything like that. That road, if you were driving and you fell asleep at the wheel, you'd be in the woods.
Right.
Nothing ever happened with the truck again. The truck was totally fine. You drove it for years.
Yeah.
There was never an issue with it. We truly lost time, and I have no explanation to what happened out in the woods that night.
And to this day, you don't feel any different? There's never been another moment where you thought something's still trying to get me?
No, it was a one-time thing. James and I both talked about it. We had some nightmares for the next week of like these weird things, but it was never, it kind of passed, and we never had another experience like that again.
What were these nightmares? I never heard this part of the story.
We had these nightmares of that night of something like a big flash, and then there were these beings around us, and it was like kind of weird. It was like really hazy, couldn't really remember, but we both had these dreams of these things being around us and like looking at us. But they went away like a week later.
What did they look like?
It was weird. In the dream, I couldn't see any distinguishing features about them. It was just these things standing over us.
Ooh. Now,
it was weird.
Now, you were in the Air Force. You're now a veteran. You're in the Air Force. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I do. I went back and forth when I was in the Air Force. I saw some really cool airplanes, and I was like, maybe that's what, but I still absolutely believe in it because everything that I've seen, everything that I've done, I still can't explain why we lost that kind of time.
So you're telling all of us we're not alone?
No, absolutely not. I believe that they're out there, and they're coming, apparently, and I would stay out of the hills of West Virginia because they're out there.
Nick, thanks so much for joining the show. If anything else spooky happens, you got to call us.
I absolutely will. Thanks for having me this week.